So, I've made it out onto the trout pond I'm gonna be fishing today. Just a week ago, this pond was completely open, but now there's at least 3 inches of safe ice. I see a lot of other tracks already out here, but that doesn't mean I can let down my guard. Now, I do have a floating snowsuit, so if I do fall through the ice, I'll be safe. But right behind me here is where I want to fish, because there are actually 2 brooks that come into this pond right here, and that will bring a steady flow of food to these trout, in my opinion. When you're fishing an area where a brook or river leads into the lake or pond you're fishing, that ice is always going to be thinner no matter what. So although I see footprints everywhere on this pond right now, I see no footprints right in front of this brook that comes in. So despite there being tons of footprints on here, I actually see 4-wheeler tracks out in the middle. I'm still gonna be using my spud bar here just to make sure, because since I'm fishing trout today, I really only wanna be in that 6-7 foot range. So I gotta get pretty close to the mouth of that brook. So I just went out to basically the mouth of that brook I was talking about, and with 3 hard chops, couldn't even break through the ice. So I should have plenty of ice over there to fish on. But yeah, let's just keep stepping. So I made it to basically my home base. This is where I'm gonna set up my bob house. And now the next thing to do is drill all my holes. Now, because this isn't a trout designated pond, there are trout in here and they stock it every year. I'm allowed 6 lines. And I'm gonna take advantage of all 6 lines today. Now, if I was fishing like a trout designated lake or pond, I would only be allowed 2. But luckily in New Hampshire, I can fish with 6 lines, which is pretty sweet. Got the bob house all set up. Now let's just scoop some snow around the edges. Now the next thing I gotta do is check the depth of all the holes. I really only want to be around that 7 foot range. If I'm down to 10 feet, that's okay too. We're just gonna start with traditional, because I just want to see the depth and whatnot. Oh my goodness, are you serious? I said I wanted 7 feet. Look at that. Perfect, 7 feet on the dot. Oh, the tip-ups I'm gonna be using today are from Freybill. These are the insulated tip-ups. And on days like today, when it's like 20 degrees out, but like 15-mile-an-hour winds, your holes would start freezing up again. But luckily, insulated tip-ups, I should be good to go. But I picked up small and medium-sized shiners today. And I like using pretty small shiners when I go for trout. It's actually the complete opposite when I go for bass or something like that. I want to actually pick the biggest. But just make sure there's no scales on the opposite end of your hook, right there on the hook point when you bring it through. And I'm not going to be doing anything fancy. I'm fishing 7 feet, so I really only want to put this shiner down 3 or 4 feet underneath the ice, about halfway down. Now I just have to repeat that 4 more times, and then with my last line I'm going to be jigging in my bob house. So finally everything is all set up. Got my bob house set up, and then I have all 5 of my tip-ups all ready to go. Now the last thing to do is grab a jigging rod and go into my bob house. So it is quite the drop off right at the edge of this brook. Just like 15 feet straight ahead right here is only 7 feet, but the holes I drilled right here are 20 feet. And I think I'm going to have to anchor down my bob house better. Let's start off with this, I guess. A couple small split shots, and about a foot down from my split shots I have this small little bait holder hook. See if any of these worms survived. They're probably a big pile of mush. And that one's not too mushy. And like I said before, I'm not going to be sending this worm too far down. I want it really high up in the water column, just a little bit below the ice. Alright, so right now I have it in about 7 feet of water, which is good enough for me. Okay, so now I only have this worm about a foot up off the bottom. I'm just going to jig here for a little bit, see if anything's on the bottom willing to eat, but like I said, if nothing's going to eat rather quick, then I'm just going to bring it back up to that 7-foot range underneath the ice here. So I got a flag. It's not spinning, so this very well could just be a wind flag. But this is one of the tip-ups where I pushed that pole down. Wow, nothing. Maybe I did have something right there. I mean, it looks like a little bit of line did get pulled out, but that being said, I think I am going to switch up tactics just a little bit here in a few minutes. I think because I am fishing about 20 feet of water, I think I am going to put a shiner on this rod eventually and send it all the way down to the bottom. Just because I want to catch something, and with 20 feet of water, you can catch yellow perch, crappie, bluegill, bass, and pickerel. There's not just trout in here. And honestly, I really just want to get a fish on camera or something. I've been out too many times this year and not caught fish. Ooh. Here's a flag. Only it was a little bit warmer, I would have used my jaw jacker, but unfortunately the holes would just freeze and my jaw jacker wouldn't work. Ooh. Oh, okay. So this was definitely my first fish today. I just was not quick enough. Dang it. First fish today and I was just not quick enough. When I'm fishing for trout, I only do like the distance of my leader. And my leader on this is 3 feet. So I was 3 foot down in 7 feet of water. And it took out all this line, but it went right into the weeds and I lost it. Unfortunately, I need to pay attention to my flags. It was probably, I don't know, 10 minutes since I checked them last. Alright, I'm going to hook it in the same place, kind of in between that back dorsal fin and the head, and that's going to keep this bait as horizontal, basically, as possible. If I hook it in the mouth, then it's going to be like vertical like this, and if I hook it in the tail, it's going to be the same way, but the opposite, like this, and that's not what I want. I want a horizontal presentation. And I gotta be on these flags like a fat kid on chocolate cake. Okay. So, nothing doing on the worm. Didn't even see a fish. I'm gonna be rigging him in between the head and the dorsal fin. Basically, just kind of skin hooking him. You don't want to hook him through the spine and paralyze him. But, flag. Come on. I guess it could be a wind flag, but thought it was out. Oh no, something's on. Yes, something's on. No. Oh. Yes. It was so small. I thought I got off, but nope. First fish today is just a tiny little yellow perch in 7 feet of water. But colorful guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is this an 8 striper perch? 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. I just got smacked right there. Something came up right off the bottom for it. Yep. Got him. What is it? It's coming right up, basically. Oh, it's a little yellow perch. And there's something down there waiting for me still. So let's get my shiner back down there. Got him. It feels like another perch. I'll take that though. Don't see it spinning. And not only do I not see it spinning, but this is one of the tip-ups where I can't push in the center post. So it's possibly subject to wind flags. Oh no, something might be on there. Got him. A little bit heavy. A little bit heavy. Freaking out though. Freaking out. Yes! That's what I'm talking about! That's what I'm talking about. My first brown trout through the ice. My first ever brown trout through the ice. Not a very big one by any means, but oh no! Alright, let's just put him back real quick. Cool. I did it! My very first brown trout through the ice. But it's a little past 3 o'clock right now, about 3:15. So I have about an hour and 15 minutes left of daylight. So to catch that first brown trout is pretty cool. But let's not waste any more time and get a shiner back on that tip up, because maybe there's more where that came from. spindle hasn't moved yet. Dang. Took the bait. That's frustrating, but oh, it came back. All right. Came back for it. We're gonna let it take line. Got him. Ooh, heavy. 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 And he's up the hole. It's a pickle. I can't believe a pickerel came up in. That's crazy. This pickerel came up in 4 feet of water. But right back down it goes. Not trying to catch those, but that was pretty cool. All right, it's crunch time now. It's about 3:45. No, it is 3:45. So I have less than an hour to keep on fishing. Well, it's about that time. I'm gonna start slowly picking up my flags one at a time. That way I'm not picking up all my stuff in the complete darkness here. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, his teeth are sharp. This is not a good look for you, little pickerel. Almost got it, pickle. All right, we got the pickle. I'm not gonna lie though, he's probably not gonna make it, but okay, he's kicking. That's right, kick yourself down there. So that is it for today, and overall I actually had a pretty good day. Caught my first ever brown trout through the ice, which was pretty cool. I think I ended the day with like 6 fish, something like that, 6 or 7 fish. So for only being out here like 3.5 hours, that's pretty good. But knowing how thick the ice is, that is a great sign, because I really want to bring out my 4-wheeler, because I really don't want to drag all of my gear out anymore. And all I did today to catch all those fish were just use tiny little shiners. At my bait shop, they're called medium, but they were pretty small, only about 2 inches long. That I have a lot of experience trout fishing, but with trout, I try to use smaller shiners. And like I said earlier in the video, with bass and pickerel or pike, I do the complete opposite. I try to use the biggest shiners I can get. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Peace.